coming up on today's show.
So you're going to make sure that you have a list of everything you're going to need when you touch down.
And we'll actually say it, so you just hold the phone up and it says it in that perfect Siri voice.
Before you walk out the door, make a list of the urgent things you'll have to do when you walk back in the door a week or 2 weeks or a month later.
Essential lists for organized travel, part 2 today on keeping you organized. Well, if you just have an itch for travel and you want to get out of Dodge or get out of Hastings if you're in Minnesota here at Smead, travel is one of those things that helps us do. And this time of year, there's a lot of people traveling. And last time, if you joined us, we were talking with certified professional organizer Julie Bestry about organized travel, including lists, all these different lists. And we covered 3 lists last time. Let's bring Julie on now. And Julie, welcome back to Keeping You Organized.
Hi, John. Glad to be back.
Okay, so last time, let's do a quick recap. We covered 3 of these essential lists. Why don't you just give us a quick overview of what those are?
Right. So the first list is what to acquire, not just necessarily what to buy, but things you're going to need. You might just need it for one particular trip. So things to acquire that are going to be necessary for this particular trip. Okay. And we talked about packing for the list of what you're going to pack in terms of clothing and accessories. And the big thing there was don't take something you can't afford to lose. So don't take those fancy jewels on a rough hiking trip. And also all the other things that aren't clothing and accessories that you're going to pack that are going to make your life more comfortable while you're gone.
All right. So and I said at the end of that last show, that's all the other stuff, but there's more. Wait, there's more. We have 2 more lists we need to cover. So what is list number 4?
So list 4 is a list of activities. So before we were talking about a list of things. List 4 is a list of what to do before you leave. Because if you start this list in advance, and Smead has some great travel checklists to help with this. You start this list as soon as you start thinking about your trip, you're not going to forget anything. So nobody ever forgets to book their flight or to book a hotel. But there are a lot of little things before you go that are really important to make sure that you don't forget. You want to remember to stop deliveries. Think about what gets delivered to your home. People think, okay, I'm going to stop the mail and I'm going to stop the newspaper. But what about meal prep kits? A lot of people get meal delivery now, and you definitely don't want those stacking up while you're gone. A list of medical related things. I always tell people, think like a doctor. Don't wait until the week before your trip to start thinking about refilling your prescriptions, or the timing between prescriptions may leave you without access to what are really some essential meds. So you're going to want to talk to your pharmacist, maybe your doctor, to write a new prescription if necessary to make sure that you're going to be able to get your meds before you go. And speaking of medical things, if you're going to be traveling somewhere, particularly abroad to another country, maybe to an island somewhere, call your health insurance provider. I was really delighted and surprised to find out that my insurance coverage was going to cover me under something called global core coverage, so that if I had an emergency while I was in Italy, I wasn't going to have to worry about paying those medical expenses right there. So it's worth it to take 5 or 10 minutes on a slow, quiet day to call your insurance company.
Right.
Other than these medical things, think about your money. I say, be a money honey. Look at the bills that you pay. If all of your bills are automated, it's not a problem. But if you still pay your bills by hand, then whether that's by check or logging in and paying your bills, you're going to want to look at everything that is going to be due while you're away and at least the first few days after you come back, because we're always jet lagged and exhausted and rushing into things when we get back from a trip. So you're going to want to figure out what you need to either pay in advance or schedule in advance.
Right.
You're also going to want to call your credit card companies and your bank, especially if you're going to be traveling someplace out of the country, to let them know that you, it's not really a travel waiver, but you want a travel awareness on that part.
Right.
The last thing you want to do is say, okay, I'm going to be using this credit card for my whole trip, and find out that your credit card company's not letting you use it because they think it's stolen because you've never been to, you know, any place out of Iowa before,
Right.
and now you're making all of paying all of these things, paying for all these things in Hawaii or in Spain.
And someone's having a good time on your behalf in Hawaii, right?
Right. And then the last of the list of what to do before you leave is to make a list of that this is part of what to do before you leave. Make a list of the documents that you're going to be wanting to collect to have in your place. And I want to show, because I got so excited on one of your daily shows when you showed these off. You have these new Holly travel organizers with
nice.
with the 3 tabs and the pocket in the front. And you've got sort of a floral design. You have a zigzag design, blue and purple. And you want to think about things like there's something you're just going to want to have on paper, even though you might have them digitally, because you don't know when you're going to be somewhere that doesn't have Wi-Fi. And, if you can't get what you need, whether it's something you need for a conference you're going to, whether it's all of your travel information so that you know the exact address of the hotel. I tell people make photocopies of your passport and make sure, you have those digitally and with you. So make a list of all the things you have to do before you leave, including a mini list of the things you're going to need to make copies of and tuck away.
Wow, this is incredible. We're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we'll wrap this thing up. I think there's probably maybe one more list, or we'll come in with some comments on, we're on the trip hopefully by now, right? So we'll be back in just a moment. We're with Julie Bestry talking about essential lists for organized travel right here on Keeping You Organized. We're back now on Keeping You Organized, talking about essential lists for organized travel. We've gotten through 4 of these lists, and Julie Bestry, certified professional organizer, juliebestry.com. Okay, so have we gotten out the door, and are we on the plane or in the car? Are we on our way yet? Are we there yet?
Don't make me come back there.
Okay.
We are about to be on our way, but before, especially if you're leaving on a jet plane, you want to have all of your I say your who, what, when, where, why, and your important phrases. Okay. So you're going to make sure that you have a list of everything you're going to need when you touch down. So if you're going to a conference, you need to know not just the name of the hotel you're going to, but you better make sure you have the address, because there could be 2 similarly named hotels. Make sure you know how you're going to get from the airport or the train station to the hotel, because there may not be an Uber or a Lyft or in the city where you are. I remember 25 years ago, I was in France and I found out that there were no taxis on Sunday in the town I went to. So you're going to want to have a list of sort of your logistics. Where you're going to go, how you're going to get there, the phone numbers of the hotel, the people you're meeting at the conference. Try and figure out a few options for where you're going to have dinner that first night, or if your plane is delayed, how you're going to get food so that you don't end up going 18 hours without food. And finally, a list of important phrases if you are traveling abroad. So knowing that I was going to Italy, I started studying Italian last summer using the app Duolingo. Babbel, there are a number of great ones. Problem with that is that you learn all these fun expressions to get a handle on things. So I arrived at a hotel and I could tell a bellboy, my monkey is hungry, or my mother's toothbrush is green and white. I could not say, where is the bathroom, or how much does this cost? So that's where Google Translate comes in. It is an amazing app that you can literally type what you want to say in English, and it will translate it and retype for you what you want to say so that you can read it to someone. So if you're lost, you can ask for directions. You can also hold your phone up to a menu or a sign in another language, and it will superimpose what the sign says in English on top of what you're looking at. It's kind of like magic.
I think some of those apps now too, you could like type it in and then the app will take and will actually say it. So you just hold the phone up and it says it in that perfect Siri voice, right?
Exactly. So with this last official list, I have a tiny bonus list for you.
A bonus list. Okay.
With this last official list, it's your list of super important things that you need to know once you do get up there. So if you haven't taken care of this before you go, this is what to do when you're stuck in an airport waiting. You're delayed. You've had your third or fourth gate change. A couple weeks ago, coming back from NAPO, I had a stellar 8 gate changes. So when you're stuck in the airports these days usually have free Wi-Fi. So if you haven't collected all your essential information in advance or haven't refined it, that's something that you can do while you're in the airport. Right. But I do have a bonus list.
Ooh, I like bonuses.
Before you walk out the door, make a list of the urgent things you'll have to do when you walk back in the door a week or 2 weeks or a month later. Things like to change the out of office message on your phone or the out of office responder on your email. It is crazy when you go away for a trip, you come back on a Monday and people are leaving you messages on Wednesday saying, well, it says you're going to be back 2 days ago, but that was 2 days ago. So you make this list. If you own a business, you may have an autoresponder that you want to change on your website so that when somebody leaves you a message, they get a special response saying that you're away at a conference and they should contact your backup person by phone. So there are all sorts of things that you can do. You want to make sure that you pick up your mail. You may want to make a list to remind you of certain things you have to do that first day back. It would completely go out of your head otherwise, because the first day back from a trip, it's kind of like when you're recovering from the flu. Your brain is just not completely turned on. So having this little bonus list, just a little Post-it note, smack in the middle of your computer or the middle of your desk to say, hey, welcome back, self, but do these things before anything else.
That is a great advice. Well, we must have one more thing on our list, which is you telling us what kinds of services you offer and how people can get a hold of you.
Thanks for that, John. I am a certified professional organizer and I do residential, home office, and small business organizing. I specialize in paper organizing and information, like these kinds of things. My website is juliebestry.com. That makes it pretty easy. And my business name is Best Results Organizing because I'm Julie Bestry, Best Results.
Awesome. Julie, thank you so much. This has been a great episode, actually 2 parts. And folks, if you didn't see or listen to the last episode, go to the podcast page because we have a bunch of links there too to different checklists that you can take advantage of. And the 2 episodes here together really will help you get organized for travel. Do you have any great travel plans coming up this summer?
This summer? No, but in the fall, I'm going to the UK.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a great one. So, all right, Julie, thanks again. We'll have you back, I'm sure.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, John.
All right, folks, there you have it. Now you are ready to travel. Get those lists, get organized, and then most importantly, enjoy your vacation. And we'll see you back next time on Keeping You Organized.